Hey, yo, guys, what's up? It's your boy Jesse. I got some breaking news I want to talk about today. I figured I better go ahead and talk about this because it involves the Philippines and some things that have been happening with the Russian YouTuber Vitali, and what Russia has said, what the Russian embassy here in the Philippines has said about that situation. Before I get into the video, guys, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. That's the best way to be able to support me and the videos I do, so I can continue to make videos like this for you guys. And it helps YouTube see that they should push my videos out to other people, and so on and so forth. So if you like what you see, please hit that like and subscribe button. Let's push to 1,000. Ha! Yeah. No, but you guys know about the whole situation with Vitali. It's not news anymore about the stupid stuff he was doing here in the Philippines. How he was harassing people, going around like he was trying to steal, acting like he was going to steal police officers' motorcycles and all this other stupid stuff that he was doing. And he thought he would get away with it. I don't know why he thought he would get away with it. I'll be honest, I have no idea. But you know, he was doing all that crazy stuff. You guys know what was going on. Well, he got arrested because of it, and he's in jail, and he's looking at, I think I read it was like 2 to 3 years before anything even goes to trial or whatever. And then even after that, he's looking for a longer sentence after the court date, the trials. I think that's great. I think that's amazing. I'm glad the Philippines is not just deporting him. I'm glad the Philippines are deciding to take this matter into their own hands, as they should. And this will be a lesson for Vitali and any other stupid streamer that decides that thinks that they can come to another country and harass people. Well, we have some updates. There were some people thinking that maybe Russia would intervene and try to help Vitali out. Obviously not. Thank goodness. The head of the Russian embassy here in the Philippines, Pavlov. I love that name, by the way. If y'all don't know, Pavlov is a very famous name in psychology. He did some amazing experiments with dogs and paved the way for a branch of psychology known as behaviorism. But that's a totally different subject. Pavlov came out and made a statement basically saying that Russia is not going to help Vitali, that what Vitali has done, he needs to suffer the consequences. And the Russian embassy, Pavlov was saying that if any Russian comes into the Philippines and does this kind of stuff, that they should be punished. And I think that's a great thing. I think that's amazing. That means that Russia is not going to try to start any issues with the Philippines. Russia understands that there are laws that people need to follow when they come to another country. And that also means that Vitali is not going to get any grace from Russia. Of course, Pavlov went on to say, you know, he hopes that in the future, if Russian people that come to the country, that the Philippines will not look at them in any bad way because of what Vitali's done. Because I think it was like there's around 5,000 Russian citizens that live in the Philippines, and the overwhelming majority of those Russians are good people. They follow the law, they're kind, they're courteous. And I tend to agree. I've met Russians in the USA. I've met Russians in the Philippines. I've seen videos of Russians in different countries, and they're usually always very kind, very courteous, very family-oriented people. And I think that's true for people all over the world. I think people from all over the world are kind and courteous. You've just got a few bad apples, and Vitali is a bad apple. Vitali was doing things that he thought he could get away with because the Philippines is a very hospitable country. People are very kind here in the Philippines. That's something I've noticed. People are very friendly. They're very happy. They're always smiling, and they're always nice. despite all the things that they go through, because they go through a lot. The people in the Philippines, they have a hard life sometimes, but despite that, they're still very hospitable. And I can't think of another country I've been to so far that has had people who are so nice and kind and happy. Vitali thought he could do stuff to the people in the Philippines because of how nice and kind and happy they were. And well, he fucked around and found out that he couldn't. And this is an example to other streamers who want to come to any country, but especially the Philippines, and do stupid stuff. And I don't think the Filipino people or the Filipino government is going to look at Russians or people from other countries in any bad light because of Vitali. There's a lot of foreigners who come to the Philippines. They either come here to live, or they come here for a vacation, or they come here to see family or friends, or someone that they're in a relationship with. They come here for that kind of stuff, and they are almost always great people. They don't cause any problems. They respect the culture. They respect the laws, and they do their thing, and that's it. So I don't think the Filipino people are going to hold what Vitali did against everyone else that comes here, uh, because they're not like that. The Filipino people are not like that, and I love that about the Filipino people. They don't they're not going to judge you based off of that kind of stuff. They might judge you based off of who you are as a person. They might judge you yourself based off who you are, but not based off of someone else. Again, that's something I've noticed because I'm white, and from America. Vitali, he lived in America for a while. He's Russian and whatnot. But I don't think any Filipino that I've talked to since that's happened, I don't even know if they even know what happened with Vitali. But it never gets brought up. And I have anxiety a lot of times doing live streams when I'm walking around, because I worry that people might see me like in the light of what Vitali did, and people don't. In fact, if you all saw my last live, one guy was even offering me to come and sit down and have a beer with him. I didn't, because I wouldn't. I don't want my fiance to get upset or worried that I'm doing something stupid while I'm out walking. I have a little more respect for my fiance than that. But I just don't see the Filipino people doing that. But that also goes to show that the Russian embassy is saying, hey, don't cut any slack to Vitali. Don't do it. Hammer it hard. Show him that people can't just come to a country and do whatever they want. And actually, Pavlov mentioned this. He said, if any Russian comes to another country, whether it's the Philippines or any other country, they have to abide by those laws. It doesn't matter if they're Russian. It doesn't matter if they're from the UK or USA or wherever. If they're coming to the Philippines or any other country, they have to follow the laws of that country. That's just how it is. That's basically Russia saying, hey, we're not going to get involved. We're not going to help Vitali. We're not going to do anything to try to get him out. He did something bad, and he deserves to be punished for it. I love that. I'm happy to see that. I wanted to see that. It makes me happy. Despite all the things that are going on with USA and Russia and Ukraine and stuff right now, it is nice to see that there's still a global community that wants to work together to make the world a better place. Governments may fight each other, they may argue with each other, they may do this, they may do that, but the overwhelming majority of all the people, they just want peace. They don't want to fight. They want a better world for everyone. And the only way to do that sometimes is to lock up people who do things that harm society. And Vitali, the stuff he's done, has harmed the Filipino society. On that note as well, For all my friends who are worried about coming to the Philippines, don't worry. Just come. Don't do the stupid stuff Vitali did. People are still going to be hospitable to you. People are still going to be kind to you. People are still going to be nice to you. They're still going to smile. They're still going to say hello. Uh, I just started walking this path that I've been walking for the past 2 weeks, I think. Not even 2 weeks yet. And I've seen people I've never met before. In some ways, it drives me crazy because I like to walk and listen to music. But when I go down that one road, I have to cut back on the music because I don't want to be rude, because everybody outside, it doesn't matter if they're a kid, an adult, a man, a woman, whatever, they're always saying, hey, good morning, that kind of stuff, or good afternoon, whatever time it is. So the people are very kind. Don't let what is happening with Vitali scare you, because as long as you're not doing stupid stuff like what Vitali did, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. The Filipino people will love seeing you here, and they will be kind to you, especially in the province area. I'm not so sure about the city yet. When I was in the city last year, it was nice. People were still nice, at least where I was. I was in Parañaque in Manila. So just don't worry about what's going on with Vitali. It's not going to affect you. People are not going to look at you any different as long as you're not doing the stupid stuff Vitali was doing. And on that note, guys, let me know what y'all think. Y'all think that things are going good with Vitali? Do you think that he should get a longer sentence, or are you one of those crazy people that thinks that, all right, he's learned his lesson, whatever, let him go? Because I'm not one of those people. But let me know. You just go ahead, leave me a comment, and know that you guys are valuable and that you matter. God bless and peace.